Vixen Season 2, Episode 5. This episode did not go at all how I was expecting it to, but it was cool. The action I thought was cool. The way the action went down was really dumb, because it was like half the episode was Mari, Ray, and Laurel fighting this dude, and then they just wait until they do like the little one-liner when he beats everyone else up. It's like, do you have a single friend that can help you? And she's like, not a friend, a sister. And I'm like, where has she been this whole fight? Like, they were literally all lined up next to each other when he like drops down next to them. He comes out swinging, and they go in and fight him, and I don't understand how that played out. It didn't make any sense. I was like, well, she's there this whole time. The whole thing is that water should be the weakness to fire, and it seems like it's somewhat going that way when she finally does decide to come in, but then she actually ends up losing, and not only losing, she ends up like being incinerated, like she gets evaporated, and I would assume the stone with her. I thought the stone was gonna like detach because the stone itself could not be like actually destroyed, but it's just gone. Like she's like wiped away. The stone is gone, so there's no more water stone. There's no more her, and I was like, holy crap, that was an interesting way to do it, because it was definitely a twist. That's what I was expecting, because I thought that there was like so much more they could have done with her sister's character, and now she's dead, and I was like, oh dang, I thought they were gonna continue that, and there's like, even if it was predictable, if they did do what I was guessing, which was defeat this dude and then they still end up as rivals, that still would have been entertaining, because they're sisters, and it's like this crazy family, rivalry to like almost to the death a little, and I thought that would have been great. And then it's like, nope, she gets wiped away, and it's kind of in a stupid way, because if she was helping them fight the whole time, which is very clear because she was holding her own until he was able to like manifest the fire, even within the water, which I felt didn't make a lot of sense. I know it's magic, so I guess I just have to let it go, but I was like, even if it's magic, she's using magic water, so his magic fire shouldn't matter. Like, there should be no way where he just like explode. He just uses fire and it just like explodes the water. It would still have to like turn to steam. It should, at least. I don't know, because they clearly made a point of showing like she's like drowning him in water, and the fires are subsiding, so it still subsides. But I guess once it gets to like its core, which is like directly around his body physically, like right at the the base of his feet and his palms. So I guess there it could still form, and then of course he does like the big explosion, and then it's like, for whatever reason, she's not able to escape from that, but he was able to escape from the fire, and there's nothing that she can do. I guess because his will, I don't know, is stronger than hers or whatever. But she goes towards him, and she's trying to fight him, and he just uses more and more fire, and he just wipes her away. And I was like, holy crap, they killed her off, which just seemed insane to me. And now Mari has to do it all by herself, which I'm excited to see how they do this finale. I assume it's going to be the finale next week. But I did like the action for this episode. I just thought it could have gone a much cooler way. Like, it could have just been that he was able to fight them all off, and that would have made way more sense, instead of, clearly she was holding her own for like half that fight by herself. Like, Mari went in and she did a couple of kicks, but her sister was holding her own. She was doing just fine. And it's like, man, if you just added that with all the other, the 3 other people that were there to do this fight, maybe they would have beat him. If she was there shooting water on him, and like if he wasn't able to light Laurel's staff on fire and stuff like that and knock her away, and then attack Ray and stuff like that. If she was there, to stop the fire or trip him or do whatever, like keep it so that he couldn't even run really, because he'd be like slowed down by all the water, something like that, they would have easily beat him. And I know it has to go on to the big battle with the main hero versus the villain, but I felt like it should have just been that he was able to just beat all of them, because he just has that military training. He's just super strong. He's just the villain, so he has to survive until the last minute where the main hero beats him. It still could have worked, but it just made no sense, because they have like half the episode as these 3 people fighting, and then, that's when her sister decides to come in, and it's like, this just didn't make any sense. It was still really cool to watch. Like, I loved the action in it, and how fluid it looked with the animation. And like I said, I love seeing how they use the fire. I think it looks really cool because it's, it's magic based, so it moves in different ways. So visually, it was still really a really great episode. It was just like, even within the action, it was like, this makes no sense that they wouldn't all four of these people would fight him at the exact same time. It made no sense whatsoever. So that was like the one big issue I had, because it didn't seem logical that she should die, because for whatever reason she waited to join the battle, because she didn't throw a single little drop of water until the other two people were already knocked out, and it's just Mari. And then Mari didn't even really do that much. I mean, she kind of stood back once her sister came in. She kind of stood back. She did the zebra thing, and she did like a little kick, and that was it. And I was thinking, like, man, she could do like a fish move or a shark move or something, and go in there, stingray, alligator, whatever, just scratch this dude up while he's trying to focus on the fire. And he still could have, broken out even out of that. But it was just like, you have these three people fighting. Ray and Laurel get beat up, and then Mari's sister comes in. I can never remember her name, but then she comes in, and Mari does like a little bit of assisting, and then she kind of backs out when she does, like, which was a really cool scene when they're both basically submerged underwater. I was like, that's really cool, because it's clearly they're like in the middle of a street. All this water would just be on the ground, but because it's magic based, she could like poly it all the way up to the top of a building if she wanted to and keep it contained. So it was like, that was one of the things I really liked about her being able to use water, because just like with the fire, she could manipulate it in different ways and like keep it contained in one area. She could have like a block of water just floating in the air if she wanted to. So it was really cool visually, and just seeing them utilize the magic. But it was just like, man, that one little thing really bugs me, because it would be one thing if they lost, but the fact that that really weird sort of decision as far as not utilizing all four people to fight this guy at one time, that's what led to a character dying. That's what makes it such a big deal. It would still suck. I still would have been annoyed by it. Like, oh, they lost because for whatever dumb reason they didn't all fight at once. But it has a much greater impact that it's stupid because a character died from that stupid decision not to, for them not to all fight at one time. So I was super annoyed by that, and then it ends. I was already annoyed, and then it ends with the character actually being killed off, who I also thought had, like I said, way more to show, but I guess not. They chose to kill her off super quick. I really don't know much about Vixen, so maybe that's why they did that, was to kill her off quick and then get into some of the more, some of the things that bigger Vixen fans might actually know about, instead of focusing on her past. Just kill her off, because that would be a rivalry thing, but they could easily just do that later. I mean, they only do like 30-minute seasons, so it's not like they couldn't leave her sister alive and she's gone for like 4 seasons. It's like, well, this whole season isn't like the span of what, a day or 2 days. So it's not like it would be that crazy. It's not like each season spans like it's a year or something. It's like, no, it's like 3 days max, maybe a week, because I'm pretty sure they went to Africa, so they just, like maybe a week or 2 weeks, depending on how long that type of stuff took. So, they could have kept her alive, and it would have been totally fine if she didn't show up for like even 4 seasons, because of how they do the time span within the seasons. But she's dead, and it was the result of just like a really stupid way to do it. Like I said, they could have easily just done it where he was just that powerful. He was just that strong and able to utilize the magic in a way that even with the water and even with 4 people, he was still able to beat them. But instead, it was like 3-on-1, and then 1-on-1, and kind of 2-on-1 a little bit, and then that led to Mari's sister being killed, which still really insane. I was like, I'd like to think that something happened here that is comic book based, and she isn't completely dead. Maybe something with the totem, and it, I don't know, sent her to another dimension. I don't know, but considering there's that little smoke trail coming off the ground, she's done for. Like, she got incinerated, like nothing, no ash left, nothing. She was just roasted to nothingness. So crazy way to end it, but I assume it's going into the finale, and maybe Mario unlocks some new tricks. I don't know what she could. I mean, she basically knows how to use the totem, so I don't know if there's anything extra about Vixen that I'm not familiar with, but it should be exciting just to see her, beat this guy. So I'm excited for what they're going to, do next in this finale, if it really is going to be the final episode. But I do want to know what you guys thought about this episode, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And I definitely want to know what you guys thought of Mari's sister actually being killed off in this episode. I mean, it's not like this show has a normal span of time where, we didn't really spend any time whatsoever with her sister. We had the introduction of the first season where it's like, we're actually related. This is what happened with our mother and our village. And now she's gone. And I'm like, man, with that sort of crazy dynamic of family, there's clearly a ton that they could do, but there's going to be some reason for it outside of it's dramatic, I would hope. And like I said, maybe some comic book thing. She's actually safe somewhere else. Who knows? But I do want to know what you guys think about them killing her off so incredibly early, considering, these seasons are only like, 30 minutes long. So we've only had, I guess, 40 minutes or maybe 30 minutes, because I don't think she showed up until maybe the end of the second episode in the last season anyway. So we've had like a total of 30 minutes with her sister when you count both seasons together, and now she's dead. So I definitely want to know how you guys think that went. If you are fine with that, if you're not fine with that, if you wish they kept her alive, what were your expectations for all of that? Because I thought for sure they were going to beat him. She was going to at least try to steal the gem, and it's like, alright, that won't work. And she'll at least escape with the water gem around her necklace, or necklace. So, obviously all that's gone. She's dead. Or maybe she's not. We have to wait and see. But, like I said, I want to know how you guys felt about that. And, of course, what you thought about the episode in general. So, please comment below. Let me know. And thanks for watching.